Hello everyone, I'm Rob Goodwin of YourBostonSports.com. It's Saturday, February 23rd, 2019. With me is my co-host John Korn. Good morning, how are you?
I'm good. We're on our way. The Grapefruit League started a week early this year. I believe the Yankees and the Red Sox are playing today.
Wow.
Yep.
Now I hope they win. Mm-hmm. What if they don't?
I don't know. The season's over. Oh my gosh. Bullpen Sox.
So, short off season with the Sox obviously winning the World Series. A couple of players off the roster, Joe Kelly and Kimbrel's still on the board.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I think he's going to come back. I don't know. Nobody's going to give him 6 years. Nobody's going to give a closer 6 years.
Right.
Nowadays.
I don't think he figures in the Red Sox salary plans. I really don't think he figures in. And where he figures in baseball, who knows? Like his spring training started already. The reporting date was last week, and he's unsigned. Bryce Harper is unsigned. And Machado was not. Go figure.
$300 million for 10 years. That's the highest free agent signing in the history of sports.
I don't understand it.
They said, though, if you take inflation into account, A-Rod is still the highest. $27 million.
Okay.
For $27 million a year for 10 years. If you even it out,
yep,
it's still actually bigger. But this is just number wise, this is the biggest ever.
Sure.
Incredible.
Don't forget, there have been 20 plus years of labor peace with baseball, and with free agents going unsigned again this year, like many did last year. You have to think the labor union is going to have a lot of asks when it comes to negotiating, and I'm really not sure when they're going to start negotiating, but. They're going to want to change things because they don't want top players being, out there on the board when spring training has already begun, and that's obviously that happened last year.
Yeah, but you can't tell an owner you can't tell an owner who to sign and how much you're going to sign him for. You can't. I don't know. My first reaction was Kimbrel may have a offer by the Red Sox. We're going to give you 2 years. I don't know, $17 million a year for 2 years or something like that. If you can do better than that, God bless you. If you can't, we're waiting for you.
Right.
I don't see how a union can stop an owner from behaving that way.
Right.
Can you?
Well, I think the union is going to have what their goals are, whether or not they can tell the owners what to do or not. There's no cap, but with the luxury tax kicking in at that $230 million, that kind of is a limit that some of the owners aren't willing to cross more than a year or two, and the players, the idea of a union is to get the union people working, period. Whether they're making $20 million, $5 million, or $15 an hour, doing a municipal job. The idea is to get people working. So, and that's obviously going to figure into whatever they ask for or propose in the next negotiation.
Yeah, the talk has been that the free agency hit a ceiling, but nobody told the Padres that. Whew. Wow. Incredible.
Do you think? I don't know enough about San Diego except the fact that they've not been a very good team during their history, and whether or not a $300 million player is going to sew it up for them. We hope so that Don Orsillo can actually broadcast a winner, but I'm really. I don't know.
I don't know. Unless they have some great young players coming up in the next year or two, and they can build a team around a big play. I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah,
boy. And like you said, Harper. How much does he want?
He turned down the same contract that Machado got. Harper got that offer from the Nationals. Turned it down. Good for you.
Now the Red
Go
Sox.
for it.
Now the Red Sox. How they looking? Pretty good, huh?
I think they are. The closer situation doesn't seem to be too concerning. They've got some internal possibilities.
Thornburg, maybe he'll show up this year.
Thornburg,
Barnes,
Brazier, and don't forget, I believe he's a non-roster invitee, Carson Smith. And as ridiculous of what he did last year, injuring himself after coming off the mound because of his anger. They made a statement, said, that's it, we're releasing you, you're off the 40-man, but then they turned around not too long afterwards.
Well, if there was ever a ridiculous position, it's a closer. They're the most unpredictable position in any sport is a major league bullpen pitcher. They can be lights out 1 second, they can get shelled the next. We've seen it forever.
Right.
That's why a guy like Mariano Rivera, Kimbrel is so valuable. That once in a blue moon you see somebody that's on all the time. But
Right, right.
it's very unusual. Look at Kelly.
Exactly.
We're ready to string him up in the beginning of the year. He was lights out in the postseason.
That's right. That's right.
Same guy. So who knows? Maybe Thornburg will show up. Maybe Carson Smith will.
Well, I think
you never know.
Yeah, I think the issue is that they got to find one guy. At some point, they got to find one guy because, wasting, but having multiple guys having to be ready for that one inning means that you have fewer guys who can pitch the 6, 7, 8 or 7, 7, 8 or 6, 7, 8. And with pitchers not, when you say 6 innings is a quality start, that's a lot to put on a bullpen, but that's how it is today.
Well, I'll tell you, and Pedro would never say anything other than this. I understand that. But Tom Caron was interviewing Pedro the other day down at Fort Myers, and he said he never saw a rotation so prepared this fast.
Yeah.
As Erod, Sale, Price. They all look ready right now.
Sure. And Erod's got a new pitch now. I'm thinking it's like the gyro ball, but I haven't heard.
The gyro ball. What was that? That was Matsuzaka, right?
It didn't exist.
Gyro ball.
It didn't exist.
It was like the grassy knoll thing. It went this way and then went over there and
well, and
took a left around this bush.
And there's been talk in spring training by a couple of players. Chris Sale's one, Xander Bogaerts is another, that they would be willing to negotiate an extension. And, whether or not that includes a quote-unquote hometown discount is anyone's guess. But I will say that one of my favorites is Xander Bogaerts. I mean, he drove in 100 last year. That was a very quiet 100 RBI season. And, the player he's turned into defensively and offensively he's just a guy that you want to have around.
And they have 3 catchers that are excellent defensively.
They still say they want to trade one, but the catching market is not kind of what they would hope it would be.
Who do you think Vasquez is their catcher? He's their permanent catcher, I would think.
I don't know. I mean, Leon is. The job he did in the playoffs. And when Vasquez was injured for weeks or a month or however long it was last year, Leon caught almost every game.
Can't hit though.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Well,
but you look at Leon, what he does behind the plate. Blocking balls, calling a game, and Vasquez. Both of them.
Yeah.
But what Leon did, where Vasquez is a superior catcher defensively. Leon, they did not miss anything, in my opinion, when Leon, caught all those games and Vasquez was out. So Swihart, I don't know. I don't know where he fits. He tore up the Grapefruit League last year, but didn't tear up the American League during the season.
The big question mark, and I don't hear a lot about it, is Pedroia. What's he gonna? Is he gonna?
They think he's ready, but they thought he was ready last year coming back, and he only lasted 3 games. I think game action proves one way or another if a player's ready, and I haven't heard that they want to bring him along slowly. But if they don't, if things don't work out, then maybe he steps aside. Who knows? That's a tough one.
He signed a 220 or 221. I think 221.
I think so. I think 2021.
2 more years after this. So.
Yeah. And they do have infield depth. Holt is still around. Nunez is still around. I say still around because there were rumors last year they were going to trade Holt because of his salary, but that obviously is not happening. Yeah, and first base. Look at the 2 guys at first base.
Mitch Moreland.
Yeah, and Pierce. I don't think Pierce is a different player than he was last year, but boy, he made an impact with that team even during the regular season. He's a real Yankee killer too. Well, at least he was. Hopefully, he still is. But that World Series he had was special. Obviously,
he had a lot of infielders.
Yeah. Okay.
Devers, Nunez, Pedroia, Bogaerts.
Yep.
Holt, and Moreland.
Yep.
I got 6 infielders.
Yeah.
How many? They must have just 4 outfielders, right?
Yes. And Holt can play the outfield.
Yeah.
If he needs to.
So.
Well, obviously this team's ready to go. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. A lot of them were in camp very early this year.
I think they're ready.
Yeah.
The Yankees are.
Are they too eager? Are they too ready?
No. These guys. I think we're going to see the Yankees and the Red Sox in it for the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
This is like 2003, 2004. They're both that good,
Right.
If not better. They're both. I think they're both better than they were then.
Well, and the Yankees obviously fortified their bullpen a great deal.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
So, we may see the Yankees. We may see the Red Sox win the wild card. The Yankees win the division. But I think I would bet they're both in it this year. I bet they're both in the playoffs this year.
I would think so. But stranger things have happened where another team, whether it be Tampa or Toronto.
162 times you play. I mean, imagine how much stuff can happen in 162 games.
Absolutely.
Oh man,
absolutely.
Things change in a blink of an eye.
That's right.
So
yeah,
that was pretty profound, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Things change in a blink of an eye.
I'm very, that's a very impressive word.
So where do you think Kimbrel's going to end up? I think he's going to come back.
He could end up back in Atlanta. That's been the rumor, but apparently it's not true. But they say Atlanta's possible. He could go. He could do a 1-year deal with somebody, but again, I don't think it's the Red Sox. But he could do a 1-year deal if somebody offers him 15 or whatever. Does he want to work or not? I mean, I hate to put it in terms that we can all understand, but do you want to work or not? Mm-hmm. That's the question. Don't forget. If you think about the Patriots a little bit. Yes, they won the Super Bowl, and yes, there's a situation that's going on that's absolutely ridiculous. But you look at the Patriots. The question with
Kraft.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I'm not laughing. I don't think it's funny. But anyways, my point before we get to that, if we get to that at all, is the question is Rob Gronkowski, is he going to retire? They asked that before last year. And they're asking it again. And you think about this. It's easy for him to say, you know what? I understand that I've won the Super Bowl X number of times. And he is one of the best, if not the best, tight ends ever. But you take that salary away, and they start going, "Wow, that's a lot of money." Now I think it's what he lives off his salary, and he banks his endorsement money, or the other way around. So he's a smart guy when it comes to his money. But you take that weekly or monthly, whatever it is, check away. And anybody starts thinking about it, how many tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or whatever it is. And they go, gee, I'm not sure I want to retire. So I'm thinking that with Kimbrel and Harper, well, probably Kimbrel more than Harper, it's a question of, do I want to work and get that check? I need that check. There's 1 year.
Yeah, but they've made millions of dollars. What do they need it for?
Well, they make millions, but a lot of them spend millions.
Gronkowski doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
He hasn't spent a dime of his salary.
I can't speak about, obviously, I don't know Kimbrel, what his financial habits are. But a lot of them, they make millions and they spend millions. And basically, it's hard for them to do without that check, like a regular person.
Boy, I'd
love
to know what that's like, to make $17 million this year and need another 17 next year. Are you kidding me?
Well, how many homes, how many vacations do you take? How many cars do you have?
One home.
No, well, I mean, some of these players.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's
no, you can spend it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they should or shouldn't. I'm saying they get used to that, having that level of salary. And I was an economics major, so I know about these things.
Well, you know about these things.
Yeah, I know about these.
You played softball too, so you're an expert at baseball.
I did. I did. I played baseball until I was 15.
Yeah, and you hit a home run at when you were in Babe Ruth.
I did.
What's that field Rich Gedman played in?
I when I was 15, playing for Chandler Exxon. Hey Buzz, my buddy Buzz, who was second baseman. He played at Logan Field in Worcester.
Logan Field.
Yeah.
And you hit a home run that.
I did. Right field. Should I tell the story? Right field had a very tall fence. They've since reoriented the field in the opposite way it was, but right field there was a fence that that's basically went farther as you went towards center field. But right field bordered the outfield bordered on Mill Street, which is a 4-lane divided road, not a highway.
I didn't think it would be this long of a story, but go ahead.
Yeah, so a very high tie fence, and so in one game, and I was a very average, if that player, very average, period. One game, I did hit a home run over that fence, and with a wood bat, I might add, because my team was too cheap to have any aluminum bats. So then you and I met Rich Gedman, and
who played in the same field,
as
a lad.
St. Peter Marian High School, before he was drafted by the Red Sox. So I said, well, I said to you before we met him, I said, he's probably one of the better left-handed hitters to come out of Worcester, and he played on that field. He must have hit a home run on that out of Logan Field onto Mill Street, right?
Yeah.
So we met Rich Gedman, and I really wanted to find out the answer to the question, but I didn't want to say, did you hit one out? Because I did, and that was my only home run, Babe Ruth, by the way, in 3 years, my only one. So we met him. He was very nice. It was a great night at the World Series Club in West Hartford. And I said to him, I heard you hit a lot of home runs out of Logan Field onto Mill Street. And he looked at me funny, and he said, no, I didn't hit any because of the high fence, just doubles. So I had my answer. So I think that's my hole in one. So
you hit a home run, and he didn't.
I hit a home
run. He was in the major leagues, and you weren't. What's wrong with that?
Oh, yeah, I hit a home run when I was 15. He played there till he was 18, and he didn't.
And you're working for a living, and
right.
he played in the world. He caught in a World Series.
He's a hitting coach for the Pawtucket Red Sox.
This is a travesty.
I'm glad I didn't know this earlier because I'd really be upset. So, but yeah, so who knows with these free agents?
Yeah.
Bryce Harper. I mean,
Boy,
I
Harper,
would think Phillies.
I
would think Phillies. Don't you think?
What are they going to offer him? He turned down $300 million. How do you turn down I can't even wrap my mind around that.
And then Machado gets it, and he hasn't won any MVPs, right?
Harper's worth more than Machado, I think.
Absolutely.
But
who's worth more than $300 million? When Machado's the highest paid player in baseball.
I mean, J.D. Martinez makes $20 million a year.
Yeah.
Machado makes $30. Well, I guess
Stanton makes $25.
I guess it's like anything else. You get what you get.
Right.
The San Diego Padre market says Machado's worth $30 million a year. That's what he's worth. Then.
Plus, their payroll is probably lower, so they've got more money to spend. Assuming the owner's so the owner is wealthy, which they all are.
They say nobody's worth this amount of money. Well, they're worth it to the person giving it to them.
Right.
I
mean, is he going to produce for 10 years? I doubt it.
Well, there's one way of looking at it. Think of a movie star. Tom Cruise or somebody like that. He probably makes 3 times the money Machado does a year. And Machado's 10 times as talented.
Right. Yeah.
You could look at it that way.
Yeah, and you wonder, the average actor, his career doesn't go his prime years, a lot of them don't go 10 years. A lot of them make a killing with a couple of movies, and then who knows? It's a crapshoot because they don't get a 5-year contract worth or whatever, or 10 years. It's by the movie, but then they give endorsements. So it's kind of a different economic model. Again, being an economics major, I can relate.
That's right. You opened my eyes
Did I
up.
Say that? I said that before.
You just opened my eyes up to a new dimension of the economic world. I didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The economic model is a different model.
Exactly.
Like when you're watching the weather channels, this is the European model versus the. It's kind of like that.
How does Europe know what weather we're getting? Do they have a Chinese model? Apparently they're falling behind, and the Chinese are falling behind in weather forecasting.
European model, Chinese model, Dominican model. I don't know. Yeah.
Dominican model is usually probably always warm.
Probably. Yeah.
That's why we never hear about it.
European's probably always cold, and America's probably like in between.
Yeah.
We got Texas, we got Maine.
Yep.
From sea to shining sea.
Yeah, Michigan, Minnesota, you got Death Valley.
Exactly.
Death Valley,
120 degrees. Right. Minnesota, 25 below zero. Exactly. So we gotta. It's a melting pot of models.
It's a wide range of meteorological phenomenon.
Depending on the viscosity of the air.
Yes. Yeah. Well, elevation has a lot to do with it.
Much to do with it. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
All right. Two more topics. One is actually 2 serious ones, one much more serious than the other. Condolences to the family of Nick Cafardo.
Oh, yeah.
2 days ago.
62 he was?
62.
He just, like that.
Yep. Writer for the Globe, 30 years, the Patriot Ledger before that. And I enjoyed reading his column, but I actually really enjoyed also seeing him on TV during the Red Sox pregame. What a nice guy he seemed to be.
Good commentator. He only talked about baseball. When he was talking about baseball, he didn't throw any opinions in. He was just excellent commentator.
Right. Now we never saw him at Winter Weekend the 5 years we've gone. Right? I don't think we ever saw him. I
don't think so.
I know that during one of the panel discussions a couple of years ago, Peter Abraham was sitting behind us. But I don't think Nick. I don't remember seeing Nick there. But yeah, very sudden. I guess the medical staff was at Fort Myers doing the physicals for the players, and then they actually assisted when he had it when he had his episode, and I guess it was heart related.
Did he have a history of heart problems?
I don't know.
It just came out of nowhere like that.
Not sure.
Yeah.
Because he always insisted on doing his Sunday notes, which was published every Sunday on baseball. So again, condolences to the Cafardo family. He's a definite loss for the Red Sox community and journalism in general.
Oh yeah, he was very good.
Yeah.
And best wishes to Jerry Remy, who's going to come back again.
Yeah. Well, you got word right from Dennis.
Right
Eckersley.
from Dennis Eckersley. I was getting his autograph. Jerry coming back. He sure is. He said, "Yep." So he's 3. He beat lung cancer 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
We talk about how tough Yastrzemski was. This guy beat lung cancer 3 times.
Right. And,
man, oh man.
And, mentally, it's a very difficult situation, and we know he dealt with other issues, in that area as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
amazing guy, amazing man.
As long as we're on the media, I meant to ask you if you heard this, that in the Nesson radio booth with Joe Castiglione, they did not name one person. Did you hear this?
No.
They're going to have rotating guests in the booth.
On the radio,
and Chris Berman's one of them. Yeah, a co-host with Joe Castiglione. They're going to do a 3-man booth and going to rotate.
And I wonder if they'll have Jerry Remy doing home games and Dennis Eckersley doing the away games.
Yeah, I don't know
like
what
that.
they're doing on
TV.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure what their plans are, but he's obviously I don't think Jerry's traveling anymore. I think doctor's orders are no more traveling. Whether or not that means he can't go to New York, which is obviously relatively close.
Baltimore, maybe.
Yeah, but I guess he won't be traveling anymore. So, that's good. If that's what it takes for him to keep healthy and not put strain on or whatever, that's a good thing. And the fans obviously like seeing Jerry. We like the work he does and how
he's part of that Red Sox history. He's part of that. You think of guys like Petrocelli, Yaz. The part of that. He's one of those old timers there that just kind of he's still around and
right. And meeting him was a great honor.
Yeah,
a couple years ago.
Yeah,
that was good. And so shifting gears to the Bob Kraft situation. I think it's leaving everyone shaking their head. It's not funny. I don't see anything funny about it. I've seen things online that make light of it. I don't think it's funny at all. I think it's a horrible situation that he put himself in, a predicament he put himself into.
I don't understand how a guy that smart wouldn't know he was going to get seen doing. I don't get. Every time I hear a story like this, and he's not the first one, you go, didn't he know that there's cameras all over the place now?
Right. Never mind the horrible thing that he's accused of, as far as in legal terms. Like you said, just being seen, at an establishment like that. Where people know who you are, I don't know. And you know what? Anyone, I don't know. But the thought is that he probably will be suspended by the NFL and fined. I don't think they can take draft picks away, which is what's been suggested. I think Rob Parker said take all their draft picks away. This year they have 12 of them. No, that's not happening. Robert Irsay, the owner of the Colts, was fined and suspended several years ago.
For what? For the same thing?
I think it was just drugs and money laundering, or something minor offenses.
Well, if it's the NFL, I guess it's minor offense. If it was Major League Baseball, it'd be major offenses.
Everything's relative, But one thing that dawned on me this morning, and I'd like to know everyone's opinion on this, is that when assuming that happens, that Robert Kraft is suspended, and he's not guilty. He's not been found guilty yet. But if he is, I'm going to kind of go a little bit farther along the timeline. If he is suspended, in my opinion, Jonathan Kraft should become the team president, should be the face of the franchise as team president, and that should be permanent. I know that people.
Does he want to do that?
I have no idea. It's an eventuality, anyways. But I know people recover from situations like this. But at age 77. He can't plead that he was stupid. He can't plead that he was young and innocent and all this stuff. It's time for Jonathan Kraft to become team president and be the one that when they want to interview the team president of the Patriots, it's Jonathan Kraft. Doesn't mean Bob Kraft has to be in the shadows, although he needs to get his act together, obviously, get through this. But there's no reason why Jonathan Kraft should not basically be named team president.
I think it's sad that we have a guy here that built a dynasty.
Of course it's sad.
This is the greatest dynasty since the Yankees
Right.
20 years ago, and he's going to be remembered for this?
Right.
There's something pathetic about
Right.
that. It's just,
He's not, I don't know. Part of me says he's not young enough to totally rehabilitate himself, and everybody hates the Patriots anyways.
Yeah.
Everybody hates them,
Yeah.
I'm a Patriots fan for life. I don't like the NFL. I'm not a fan of the NFL. And I've made that point, clear as to why in the past. But this just feeds feeds the fire. It's
Yeah.
so
People are gonna think what they want, though.
yeah, that's right. So I got a question. So we ask this every year. Are you going to be watching any spring training games this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one tomorrow. I forgot who they're playing tomorrow. They're playing the Yankees today,
Yeah.
and they're playing tomorrow. And I might watch some of it. Yeah.
It varies with me as far as how much I want to watch. Like several years ago, I'm like, oh great, I want to watch the first day of spring training. I want to see Nesson on TV the first day, and I'm so excited. But it's a long season, and I basically don't watch a lot of spring training games anymore. Every now and then.
I keep saying every year I'm going to try to do this year. I never do it, but I pay more attention to minor league baseball.
Yeah.
Go to a couple of Pawtucket Red Sox games up in Lowell, Mass. They have a single A team.
Yep. Spinners.
Maybe go to a couple games like that. Pay a little more attention to what's going on there.
Well, and plus, Portland Sea Dogs come down here to play the Hartford
Yeah.
Yard Goats. The Yard Goats being the AA affiliate of the Colorado Rockies, and this is year 3 for them.
And they have another single A team in South Carolina.
Right, Greenville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they have 3 single A teams. Lowell,
Yep.
Greenville, and someplace in Virginia. Then you have
Virginia.
then you have Double A. Then you have Double A in Portland and Triple A in Pawtucket.
And they have one more minor league team that you're not remembering.
What's
The
that?
Gulf Coast Red Sox.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're instructional. I think they're the Florida Instructional League in Fort Myers.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's one other minor league team. So it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a great season. I hope they can stay healthy. That's kind of a number one. And but like you said, Pedroia is going to be an interesting one. People are saying they want to see Benintendi improve at the plate. I'm not so worried about that.
No, I'm not worried about one guy on that team except Pedroia.
I like to see
and if he can't play, then he won't be able to play.
Right.
I'm really not. Are you concerned about anybody?
No. I would just like to see them sign someone to an extension, whether it be Bogart or Sale. Sign one of the young guys to an extension. I think that would be a great thing.
And they want to well, I don't know about Bogart. Sale wants to stay. You can tell.
Yeah.
He loves it there.
Bogart wants to stay. He was
Does he?
Yeah, he was interviewed the other day. Mookie, is he going to go out after the $300 million contract?
Oh my God, $40 million a year contract.
And does the union want to make him the example? Say he's going to hold out, and if no one pays him, then that's a problem for labor. I don't know. At the time he might be right for that. So something we'll have to wait and see. Well, everyone, thanks for watching YourBostonSports.com on this cloudy Saturday day. Spring training is in full swing.
Full swing.
Catch up with us on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and friend us, like us. And we want you to get involved and let us know what you think on any Boston sports topic. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.
Have a great day, everybody.